Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be continuing doing Jack Skellington from the Disney's Nightmare Before Christmas crochet kit. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we're going to be picking up where we left off, making this Jack Skellington here. We have the head, we have the upper body, the waist, we have the long legs. This project is really long. I think I remember it saying it would be like about a foot. But I am measuring, I think I measured 13. It could be more than that. Approximately 11 inches tall. Yeah, it's a lot taller, especially if you're loose on your stitching. But we're going to continue with this. So we are left at the face, and we have to cut 2 oval shapes sized approximately 3 rounds by 2 stitches. From the black felt, and use 1 strand of black embroidery thread to stitch the eyes over the rounds 58 through 61 of the head, approximately 2 stitches apart, with black embroidery thread. Straight stitch the 2 nostrils over around 58 between the eyes as shown. Embroider the mouth, which begins 2 stitches to the left of the eye and ends 2 stitches to the right of the right eye. Curve mouth, making the smile 4 rounds from the highest to lowest point, and secure the position with short straight stitches all along the mouth. So that is a lot. Let's try breaking this down. I'm a crocheter. I'm not a embroiderer or sewer. So we're going to cut these eyes. In this packet you have 2 different squares of felt, and I'm going to grab the black ones. It would probably be better if they just drew out a pattern that I guess somehow you can place over and cut as you go or something. I don't know. So it would be useful to have like fabric pen where you can write on it. I don't have any of that. We're just gonna eyeball this. We're gonna eyeball the eyeball. So this head here, it's not even, this is such a flimsy, like, the concept and obviously the fact that it's Nightmare Before Christmas is cute, but this is just not executing to my liking. Like, this head is just really not holding up. Okay, cut 2 oval shapes, size approximately 3 rounds. So it's going to be the height of 3 rounds, 1, 2, 3 from the corner, so right here, by 2 stitches. So that's like about here. Let's try to cut a square and then we'll work from there. So this is how I'm just gonna go about this. We've got the 3 rows. 1, 2, 3. Let's just make a mark here and cut it if possible. Okay, and then we need to have it 2 stitches wide, so right about here. I'm gonna flip it over and make a little cut. Okay, so now I'm just gonna make these 2 points intersect, and then we'll trim off the corners to make the eye. So it looks like it tapers off at the top. So we have the eye like this. Just trim this off a little bit more. Okay. I don't know. And then we're going to make a second piece. So line this up and then cut your felt. I'm going to go by squares first. Then we're going to trim off. Okay, this is kind of about the same. All right, get rid of this. So we have our 2 eye holes. Eyes. I'm gonna put this back into the package. All right, so 1 strand of black embroidery thread. I wonder what that means. I wonder if it means that we're splitting up the embroidery thread like we do in cross stitching, or if we're just using the whole thing. So there's 2 different sizes. I wish they told us which size to use. And then we're using 1 strand. Does it mean 1 strand, or does it mean we have to remove 1 strand off of here? I'm going to remove 1 strand, see how that goes, because I don't want to waste this. So I'm just going to give myself a length of this embroidery thread, and I'm going to split it, and I'm going to split apart 1 thread from the group. This could be entirely wrong, but that's just how I'm going to do it. A smaller thread means you can hide the thread better. Plus I think it's a little more neat, maybe. Maybe I'll use the rest to do the eyes and the nose. The nose and the mouth, but maybe for the eyes, like, just not. So this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna put the 2 ends together from the piece that I cut. This is going to keep me from having to tie a knot. I'm going to grab the smaller needle because I am working with the smaller felt. So you have to fish these 2 in the eyelet, but if you have it, it's not included in the kit, but get yourself a threader. It looks like a little flat umbrella. You stick 1 end into the eyelet hole. Oh, it won't even fit. It's so tiny. All right, well that changes up my hole. Or maybe not. Let's see. I just fished it onto the hook. I'm gonna see if I can, yeah, I don't think it's gonna stick in there. Alright, so we have to manually feed this in, which is gonna be a pain in the butt. But one way to kind of make that work is the two strands. You can line up and then trim the little frayed pieces so that's nice and straight. Once you remove the furry pieces, you can slip that through the eye hole, hopefully. Okay. Then I'm not gonna tie a knot. Oh wow, this part didn't even fit in there and it split. Oh my gosh. It actually ripped. Alright, so the embroidery floss is not of great quality. No worries. I'm gonna line this up again. And we're gonna trim it equal again. I'm going to try to fit this in here. Okay, success. All right. Not going to knot it, I'm just going to fold it over. And because of all that, I only have this much left, but we're going to leave this loop here. What I'm going to do now is sew this on here. Okay, so we're going to thread to stitch the eyes over rounds 58 through 61, which is appalling because we're not going to remember where 58 through 61. Okay, so this is 67, 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, and then this is 60, 59, 58. So 58 is down here. And it's going to be 2 stitches apart. So now what I'm going to do is go up from under here, get a corner of this eye, sew it through, and then I'm going to take that loop at the end and I'm going to put the needle through the loop, and that's going to be our knot, our invisible knot. And I'm just going to go around the whole eye, So I reached the other side. This eye ended up becoming smaller. Alright, so 2 apart. I'm going to put the other eye here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to try to fish it under to where I can come up at the corner of the other eye. Right there. This way we don't have to cut and tie. It can all just be one piece. And we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so now I gotta figure out how to tie this. I don't know. I might just do this. And then to tuck this in, I guess I'm just gonna go in here. Wonder if I can push it through the other side. Yeah, just be careful you don't poke yourself. Okay, pull that through, pull the needle out. I'm gonna go in here, cut a piece as close to the head as I can, and then I'm going to squish it back out to hide that thread. So I got my eyes for Jack Skellington. Kind of cute. Messed up a little bit around here, but I'm not a sewer. You know, it is what it is. Okay. So now, okay, approximately 2 stitches apart with black embroidery thread, straight stitch the 2 nostrils over round 58. Okay. I'm gonna take this again and maybe I'll take 2 this time. Yeah, I'm gonna get 2 strands this time out of this group, so it makes a darker line. Okay, set this aside. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm not entirely sure if this is all going to fit in that eyelet, to be honest. If I struggle with it, I might just use the bigger needle. But I'm really going to try to get these 4 little strands into the eyelet hole. You can tell when you need new scissors when your detail brush no longer cuts on a dime. I don't know. All right, let's get this. Yeah, it's too small. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure that out. I'm going to use the bigger needle. I lack the patience for that. There are other threaders that are wires, so they fit better in the tinier needle eyelet holes. I'm just going to use the large one. Okay, so from 58... so crazy. All right, so let's just do this here. Okay, and then like I did before, I'm going to put the needle through the loop so I don't have to tie any knots, and then gently pull that. And you can always like 2-ply this. Let me just go over on the other side though and mark up where we're putting up that other nostril. Okay. I'm not a sewer. This is so not even. Oh my god, terrible. This is terrible. Okay. And I'm going to go back to the other side. Just going to do this nostril. It is what it is. All right. I did do this one time more than the other side, so I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to just do this one more time. And I have no idea how I'm going to tie it off. So maybe I come back around here. And then I do one of these. Okay, and then same thing with the eyes. I'm going to go back into this hole And I'm just going to push it through the other side of the head. And we're just going to cut off the excess piece. And then smush it out. So we have the nostril. Jack is looking sad. Okay. Okay. So now we have to embroider the mouth, which begins 2 stitches to the left of the eye and ends 2 stitches right of the eye. And it's a curved mouth. I'm just going to take the rest of this, or maybe not. I'm going to split off one because I need one more to make the stitches in the mouth. So let's do that. But again, we're going to put the ends together. I'm just going to use the bigger needle. Okay. Now, 2 stitches to the right of the eye. 1, 2. Hard to see these stitches easy. 1, 2. So just gonna slip that through there. Put your needle through the loop and then pull. So we got the first part. Then we just gotta make it like that. I don't know. I guess we'll leave it loose, because we're going to come back and stitch everything. So let's see what it says. Curve the mouth, making the smile 4 rounds from the highest to the lowest point. So if this is the highest, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the lowest point. And then I'm just going to count 1, 2. And we'll put this here. Okay. And I don't know how to finish this off, but I'm gonna do one of these. Okay, once I've made that knot, like we did before, just gonna go in here, put the needle back in, stick it out the other side somewhere, pull that all the way through, and then I'm gonna cut off this piece here. And then squish the head to hide that piece. So now we have this kind of flapping in the wind. I'm going to take this last piece here. I'm going to do ends to end. And I'm going to try using the smaller needle this time. All right, let me just work this off camera. Okay. I put this in and off camera. I didn't know how long it was going to take me, and I didn't want you to sit through that annoyance. But once you get it through the smaller needle, then we can come in and stitch this up. And I'm just going to go in every now and then. And did it say anything? Okay, we're just doing straight stitches all around the mouth. So stick it in through there. I'm going to slip the needle through that loop, so you don't have to tie it. And then it's just about going back into that same spot, coming up from another section, and doing the same thing. Just stitching all around, trying to make it symmetrical, I guess. And then of course we have to get this, it said 4 between the top and the bottom, so just keep that in mind. This is starting to shape up, so I'm feeling a lot better about how it's looking at the moment. But we still have a long way to go. There's a lot more pieces to Jack Skellington, so hopefully I'll be able to get it all in one video today. I would hate to have to break this up into a multiple video. Okay, so I'm nearing the end. Again, I don't know how to end these things half the time, so I'm just gonna figure it out. Stick this back up in here. I'm gonna do one of these. Okay. Pull on this. Then I'm going to go back in, stick this in there, and have it come through the other side. Squish the head out. Okay, so we have the face. It's starting to look like him. The head is definitely not on there secure. It's just wobbling all over the place. Let me put these back in here. I think that's it for the sewing, hopefully. Be careful with it. You don't want to poke yourself. Slip this back into its packaging. You always want to put stuff away the moment you're finished with it, not because you will not lose track of where everything is, but also if it's stuff like this, you don't want it rolling around. You could poke yourself later. Okay. Now we're going to do the arm, and we're making 2 of these. So I'm going to do the second one off camera for camera time's sake. But we're going to need the black. I have my ratty black here. I really should roll this up into a ball, but I'm just going to make my life difficult and just do it as is. Okay, so with black we're going to make a 6 single crochet AR. Was that the same as the beginning? Let me see. Yes, so we're going to make a magic ring. So in case you had forgotten how to do it, I'm going to show you how to do it. You want to take some yarn here. We're going to wrap it around your finger 2 times. We have a little bit of excess piece here. We're going to use our middle finger to just hold that down. Now we have 3 strands draping over your index. Flip your index palm side up. We're going to take this crochet needle, a hook, stick it under the 3 strands like that. Now I'm going to take the hook, grab this piece, and we're going to drag it under these 2. So take that piece, drag it under those 2 pieces, just like that. Now we're going to yarn over like that, and I'm going to pull that through this loop to close off our magic ring like that. So now you can slip all this off your index finger and we're ready to go. This is the, I guess they call it adjustable ring. This is also the magic ring, magic loop. And we have to do 6 single crochet stitches. So I am just going to do a little refresher for the stitches that we stumble upon first time. Okay. So first you have to chain 1. So we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop. That's a chain. Now we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. You want to stick your hook into the magic loop. You're going to yarn over. You're going to pull up a loop. Then we're going to yarn over again and pull through 2 loops. And we have 1 single crochet stitch made. And next to it is the chain stitch we made. So let's do this 5 more times. Into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches and our chain stitch. Let me walk this through with you one more time. So into the magic loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, 3 single crochet stitches, 1 chain stitch. Let's do this 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now to activate the adjustable ring, what we're going to do is pull this piece out. Before you do that, take your thumb and your middle finger, gently grasp the bottom stitches right here. We have a front loop and a back loop. Okay, just to identify those 2. And then we're going to pull this a little bit. As we're pulling, you're going to see one of these loops start disappearing into the ring. When that happens, stop pulling, and then we'll move on to the next step. So let's grab the excess piece, start pulling, keep an eye out for which loop is coming in. So I saw it. In my case, the back loop is going in first. So what we need to do is grab the back loop at the bottom part right here where you're holding those stitches, and you want to pull that out. So we're going to pull this bottom part of the back loop out until that front loop starts to disappear. So let's do that now. As I'm pulling, you can see that front loop curling up in there, closing that hole just like that, and just pull it till that hole is pretty much closed. Okay, and then once it's closed, then you can grab the excess piece here and pull that. So the excess piece, pull that, and you're going to see that back loop disappear as well. This will ensure that both loops go in and they won't bunch up and ruin your project. So just pull enough so that it's snug, you can't pull anymore. Alright, now then we're going to count back 6 stitches and we're going to do a slip stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick your hook into the 6th stitch, front and back loops. See here? Now to do a slip stitch, we're going to yarn over and you're going to pull this through everything off the hook. Just like that, and we closed off our first round, but don't forget we're also going to mark off our last stitch that we made so that we don't lose track of our stitches. Okay, so oh no. So now for rows 2 through 20 we have to do 6 single crochet stitches all the way around, and then we have to change to white. So I'm going to show you how to do the first 3 rows. I'm going to do the rest on my own. Before I do the slip stitch on the 20th row, I'm going to show you how I change to white. Okay, so let me just gather up my markers. If you have them, definitely use them. So I'm just going to I'm going to walk 3 with you. So this is actually 1. Well, yeah, we finished round 1, so this will indicate we start round 2, we start round 3, we start round 4. Okay, so let's do second round, 6 single crochet stitches. Yarn over, pull up a loop to make the chain, and then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. Stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Let's do this again. Hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. One more time with you guys. Into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now I just have to do this 3 more times to the end of the marker. 1, 2, 3. We're going to leave the marker in there so that we keep track of our of this portion that I'm doing with you. Okay, so now that we finished that, we're going to count 6 stitches from the hook. Okay, and then we're going to stick our hook into the 6th stitch, and then we're going to do a slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through all loops, and then we're going to mark off the last stitch, indicating that we are working now on the 3rd round. Now this is a small project right here, and if you don't see it, it's curling inward, and this excess piece is just flapping in the back. So this is the wrong side that's facing. We have to flip this inside out. So you can pull this out, make a big loop so that we don't lose that stitch. set your hook aside. We just have to invert this. We have to flip this inside out so that this extra piece here is tucked away. And you can even start by raveling it up into the back there. And once we get that all raveled up back there, we can flip it inside out. And it hides everything. Isn't that fun? Okay. So now that we have the right side facing, because you can see the rows all nice and clean, we're going to put our hook back. So take your hook, put it back into the loop, tighten it up a little bit, and then we're going to start rounds 2, 3. We're going to start the third round. Let me just gather up some yarn. And my thing of yarn is all tangled, so not fun. Okay, just getting some yarn now. Let's start our third round. So like we do with every round, we're going to chain 1 first. Then we're going to do our single crochet stitches. And it's so dark I can't see. Okay, into the next stitch. I'm going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3. I mean, you really don't have to count because we count towards the end anyway to make sure that we have all the stitching. I mean, it doesn't hurt to count, but sometimes, especially when it's a larger round, just counting all of it is a little much. Okay, into the last stitch. We're going to leave that marker in there. Okay, so now we're going to count back 6 stitches and do a slip stitch. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Stick your hook into that into that 6th stitch. Okay. And then mark it off. This is going to indicate that we're starting round 4. Okay, I'm going to walk through this with you one more time and then we're going to finish this whole thing. Okay. This whole section here. So yarn over, pull up a loop to make a chain. Let's do 6 single crochet stitches. Last stitch, leave the marker. I'm going to count back 6 and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm just going to mark this off. This is indicating we're on the 5th round. So now I want to see how many pins I have. I'm going to remove these 3 because I want to count up to 20 if possible. So I know the purple one means we're on the 5th round. So I need 15 more. I don't think I have 15, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, Oh, maybe I do. 13, 14, 15. Look at that. Okay. So I'm going to just I'm going to crochet this in silence. You guys can do that as well. By the way, I usually mention this in all my videos. I haven't yet. If you need me to slow down or speed up, you can change the playback speed on your video. Go ahead and click on the gear on one of the corners of your screen. When you click on the gear, there's a you scroll down a little bit maybe, and there's a playback option. You can either slow down or speed up the video. If you're more of a visual person, you can go ahead and click the CC button. It's closed captioning, and then you can lower the volume on your phone. But I'm just going to gather up some yarn here, and I'm going to continue doing all these rows. I'm kind of excited. The head does look on point. Well, maybe not on point, but it looks pretty close to Jack Skellington. So I'm kind of excited to see the finished look. And the only way I'm going to get there is if I finish the project. So there's nothing left to do but to get it done. Okay, so I have to switch to white now. So what I'm going to do, let me see. I want to make sure that we're not switching to black at all anywhere. It's good from the and 4 times finger passing off. Long tail for sewing. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Alright, let us temporarily pull out a large loop from what we've been working on so that we don't lose that stitch. I'm going to go and grab my white yarn. Okay. Now we have to cast on to our hook, and I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to take your pinky in, ring finger, and thumb and hold the end of the yarn. Then you're going to take your middle and index and hold it about, an 1.5 inches or 2 inches away. And what we're going to do is take our hook, lie it perpendicular to the yarn, and we're going to go down, out, and around to make a loop. Let me show you this one more time. Perpendicular to the yarn, down, out, and around to make a loop. Now you want to hold the yarn in the back here with your middle finger on your right hand, just right there. We're going to let go on the left. We're going to gather up some yarn here around our finger. Okay. Then what we're going to do, you want to pinch the end down here, and we're going to slide the hook all the way down close to that end. Once we get to that point, you want to pinch this cross section right here with your thumb and your middle finger so that your hook can't come out of it. Now we're going to yarn over like that. We're going to pull a loop through like that. Now we're going to tighten up this knot here, but we want to pinch that end again. Make sure you don't let go. Then I'm going to take my index and thumb, and we're going to push this knot towards the thumb and the middle finger. Keep pushing it down until you cannot push it any longer. And once you get it down there, you can then take the end and pull it out to make this knot a little tighter. You don't have to pull too hard, just enough to make it snug. Then I'm going to take my index and my thumb. I'm going to grab this knot and I'm going to slide it towards the hook. So slide it towards the hook. You want to leave a decent amount of room here because we're going to slip this off the hook. You don't want to lose this. Set this aside. Now we're going to go back into our project here. Stick your hook back into that large loop and tighten it up just a bit. Now we're going to count back 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put your hook into that 6th stitch. Now instead of using this black piece here to yarn over and do a slip knot, I'm going to use the white. Slip that onto your hook, roll it up into your finger. Now hold this black piece back. You don't want to accidentally do anything with it. We're going to slip the white yarn through all the loops to do a slip stitch like that. And I'm going to mark off the last stitch we made. But now we have switched to white. So what we're going to do, because we don't need black anymore, I'm going to cut off to where there's 1 inch or 1.5 inches left. And I'm going to tie it around the white yarn 2 times to make sure we don't lose any stitching. So tie it around twice. 1. And not too loose, but not too tight. 2. And then, you know what? We're going to end up tucking this stuff in the leg. But let's look at the next step. Okay, so for the next step is rows 21 and 22. We're going to do a single crochet stitch in all 6 stitches. So you want to yarn over and pull through the loop. We're going to chain 1, then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to count 6 stitches and do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stick your hook into that 6 stitch, yarn over and pull through all loops. So we did 21. We're going to mark this. We're going to do 22. But what I want to do is I'm going to pull this loop out a little bit, or a lot of it actually. I want to tuck in that end piece because it does get bothersome. So just use your hook and try to take it and push it inside the arm until it's gone and out of your way. Okay, so now we can put our hook back into the loop, tighten it up a little bit. Then we're going to move on to round 22, which is 6 single crochet stitches. So yarn over, pull up a loop, make a chain, and then we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, count 6 and do a slip stitch. Then we're going to mark off the last stitch here. Okay, so for now it says the next round creates the fingers. This should be interesting. Alright, so for round 23 we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. We're going to chain 5, skip the first chain from the hook, slip stitch in the next 4 chains, slip stitch into the next stitch 4 times for 4 fingers. Oh, I hope I do this right. Alright, let's grab some yarn. We're going to chain 1. We're going to do 2 single crochet stitches. 1, 2. Then we're going to do chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to skip the first chain from the hook, that's this one here. We're going to slip stitch in next 4 chains. So I'm going to slip them from the back. So I'm going to turn it on its side. You see how there's 4 little humps? We're skipping this hump here. We're going to go in this hump here. We're going to do a slip stitch. You stick your hook into that little hump. Then you yarn over and you pull through all loops. That's the slip stitch that we've been doing. We're going to do this 3 more times. Two, 3. Okay. Then it says to do a slip stitch in the next stitch. So into the next stitch, which is here, we're going to do a slip stitch, and then we have to do this 4 times. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to skip that first hump, and then we're going to do a slip stitch in the 4 humps here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have to do a slip stitch into the next stitch. And then we got to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's gather up some yarn here. Okay. Then we have to skip 1 stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch in the 4 remaining stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, then slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we have to do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 4 fingers. Why does he not have 5? He should have 5 now. Okay. Skip 1 stitch, slip stitch into the 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now into the next stitch, I have my marker here, slip stitch in there. I don't know why he only has 4 fingers. I thought he had 5. Okay, fasten off, leaving long tail for sewing. Trim a 4-inch piece of craft wire and insert it into each arm. Then use the tapestry needle to pick up all the front loops of the last round and pull it tight to close the hand. Leave the ends. What does this guy look like? Does he really only have 4 fingers? And they show this. He has a regular hand, so he has 5 fingers. Listen, you don't have to follow what I'm doing. I'm just going to do this one more time because I can't live with just 4 fingers. That's going to bother me. But you know what? Maybe I'll do like 3 to make it look like a thumb. Again, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing this. I'm going to do 3 chains, and then I'm going to do 2 slip stitches on my own to make the thumb. You know, I've just seen the movie and he doesn't have 4 fingers, he has 5. I mean, I could be wrong, but just for my sake, I'm just gonna do the thumb. I want to remove this marker. I'm going to do a slip stitch in the next stitch. Okay, so he at least has, yeah, like a thumb. Alright, we have to fasten off and leave a long tail for sewing. So, I don't know what that means. How long is long? So I'm just going to leave a long one. Cut this off. Then we're going to fasten this off, yarn over, and pull through all the way. And we're going to pull this knot. Okay. So we have our hand. And it says to trim a 4-inch piece of craft wire, insert it into each arm. So let's go grab our little craft wire. And I'm going to measure out 4 inches. I have my cutting board right here. So measure out 4. We're going to need 2 of these. So okay. Then it says we have to insert into each arm. Use a tapestry needle to pick up all the front loops of the last round and pull tight to close the hand. Weave the ends. Okay. So grab your arm here. We're going to insert this into the arm. Like that. Then what we're going to do, it says sew. Let's see, does it say remaining? All the loops of the last round. Okay. Just so I don't have to pull out those needles like I did in yesterday's video, we're just gonna weave this into the front loops by using the crochet needle or crochet hook, sorry. Okay. So when we reach the other side, tuck this wire in and we're going to pull that yarn to close up the hand so that that wire can't come out anymore, in theory. Right. Now I don't know exactly what to do with this. So I'm going to just stick this in here and I'm going to do another fasten off. Like that. Then I'll just cut off, leave like 1.5 inches or so. And I'm just going to go in here come up where the excess piece is, and I'm going to drag it inside the project to hide that piece. And we have the one arm. Then it tells us where to sew it. So I am going to pull out the needle again, I guess. Where is my needle? Let's put this back here. Things just go missing. So I'm back here, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to use the, I'm assuming this is a tapestry needle. I'm going to grab some of this embroidery floss. I might just use the whole thing this time. So just want to make sure that the arm does stay on. Well, because this is larger, I could probably use my threader. This is how it works if you have a threader. Put that through the eyelet hole. Put your embroidery floss on there and then pull that through. Okay. Let's actually split this in half because I don't want to, I'm trying to use this sparingly. So I think each strand has 6 threads. So just separate 3 on 3. That way we don't waste all that yarn. Okay. Okay, so it says with black, sew the arms to around 45 of the body. And this is where it's annoying. So, count back, 67, 68. This is not easy to, hold on. 66, 65, 64, 63, 62, 61, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48, 47, 46, 45. That is just too high. And this is why. Oh, I know an easier way to do it. Let's do it this way. Let's go back in the book and see where we changed to white. So we changed to white in row 47. so this is 47, 46, 45. Okay, so we're sewing it right here. So 45, and then obviously you have to put it off to the side. So I'm going to take this, pull, put that through the loop, tighten it up. I'm going to do this. Okay, so I attached the one arm, and I guess inform this, however, I am going to do the second arm off camera and sew that on, and then we're going to move on to the shirt. What's left of this guy? The shirt, the collar, the tie center, the tie wings, cocktail, or coattail, cocktail, coattails, and that's about it. It's little things, but it seems like a lot, so we'll see how much I can fit into this video. I'll be right back. Okay, so I had gone and did the second arm, sewed it on, got my hands here, and here is my Jack Skellington so far. And listen, I think this is already a 2-hour video, so I know I went over last time, but we had a lot of body to get through, but now it's broken up into smaller parts. So I'm just gonna do the smaller parts on a part 3 video. All we have left to do is the shirt, the collar, the tie center, the tie wings, and the coattail. Now, you know, it seems like a few pieces, but each one's got, like, you know, between 4 to 7 rows. So I really want to add it in, but we're gonna go for another long video and try not to do that. But here's what we have so far, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll try to post part 3, if not the next day. maybe within a couple of days, because I have to start my other kits. It's crazy. I think, is Halloween next week? I don't really remember. But I know it's the 20th, so we have, you know, only 11 more days till the 31st, and I have another crochet kit that I have to get through, at least do one character from. And then I do have another unboxing, hopefully, one more character, so I have to fit in 2 more kits for you guys. But thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.